Well, hello there, it's Beards and Bangers, and today you join me indoors, so we're not in a car or driving a car or even outside. I'm in my dining room because we're doing part 2 of refurbishing a headlining.
Welcome to Beards and Bangers.
So if you remember, before we've taken the headlining out, we've cleaned it, there's still a few bits that you eventually go kind of blind to the old foam that's on there, so just try and pick as much of that off as you can. You really want a clean surface. Yes, I've used a combination of the drill with that kind of toilet brush attachment on it. Next job I've done is I've cut some headlining material to size. Now headlining material is available pretty readily. This is from EU Fabrics, who I think are in Oxfordshire. £8.99 a metre. This is ivory, and I've chosen this colour because Austin's put this in his Streetwise that he's now sold, and also his Rover 25 1.1. So looks pretty stock. I've bought, I think I bought 6 metres of this, maybe 4, can't remember. Enough for the 75 as well, because it just seems to be the right colour. But yeah, £8.99 a metre does seem pretty decent. You can see the material, so you've got the actual nice fabric here, and then you've got this foam backing, which obviously provides your insulation. And this, if we look at headlining for a moment in up close, it's this foam here that actually comes away. The fabric itself is pretty thin, so heat and age cause the headlining to kind of disintegrate over time. So it's the foam that actually comes away from the fiberglass biscuit, not the material itself. So I know some people have they just basically spray what's already there, but all you're doing is spraying foam that's, trying to stick foam together that's lost its integrity. So I've cut the headlining to size roughly. I was going to make sure it's fully lined up, and then I'll show you how I'm going to glue it. And I've got a special glue which we'll show you in a sec. So the way it's packaged, you do get these kind of creases in it. So ideally I would leave this flat like this, but it's a bit difficult with space and with a cat that likes jumping on absolutely everything. You'll notice also I've cut it larger than the headlining biscuit itself, because we want to be able to tuck it round like so, and that gives it a bit more strength. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it in 2 parts and then leave it settle down. Hopefully that crease will begin to drop out, and then what we'll do next after we've done that is to actually fold it round these corners and also dress it round these bits like here and here, so when we refit it to the car, which will be tomorrow, it'll go back in nicely. So if you give me 2 secs, I'm going to grab some glue and we'll crack on with some work. So if we talk about adhesives for a moment, so I'm using this Trim Fix adhesive. Now this has got a very high temperature resistance, so don't forget, in the summer, you get in your car, it's bloody hot, and it's even hotter up in the roof. So it's really important to use an adhesive, spray adhesive, that's got a very high temperature resistance. I think this resists, doesn't actually say on the bottle, but I know this is the 110 degrees C, so that's pretty hot. Your roof shouldn't get that hot, we'd hope, well, you never know with global warming. But yeah, so something like this. The important thing as well is to ventilate it. So what I'm going to do, I'll grab the camera and show you. So first job is just to open the window, get some ventilation in here. The cat is floating around, which isn't ideal. So what I'll do is make sure we are lined up one more time. We'll fold the headlining back halfway like that. We're going to spray adhesive onto the biscuit, let it go off for about 30 seconds, 1 minute, and then we'll fold this side back, and we'll do the same again. So we'll use our light cutout. We know that we're about 2 inches that side of the light cutout. What I will do quickly is just put a bit of a kitchen towel under there so it doesn't seep through the holes. I'm not too worried about anything else because it's only going to spray it fairly accurately. Just notice there's a couple of bobbly bits on there which we'll remove. So let me get the adhesive and we'll get started on this. Give it a good shake. What we'll do is we'll start. You can see it's like stringy adhesive. We want to get a good coverage on. Particularly around the edges. This table does need a good scrub, by the way, so I'm not too worried about getting a bit on the table. If I had a big workshop or a garage, it'd be a lot easier. I'm not too worried about this lip here because we'll put some more glue on when we turn around the corner, which we'll do once this bit's dry. Let's get a bit more on just to make sure it's really well covered. You can see why I put that bit of kitchen paper there now. Right, so really good application. We'll just leave that for a few minutes. So you can see it's got a nice web, so that should be a good high tack. Then what we'll do is we'll bring this first side over and we'll let gravity do the work. So that should be, just quickly move you around. Just there's a little bit of glue on the floor. So we'll just very carefully just bring this side down. Just give it a bit of gentle pressure. Very important, if you have been doing other work on your car, make sure you swarfigure your hands, because what you don't want to do is buy this lovely new headlining fabric and then have it with black smears on, which can happen. I have seen that, but these things happen. Let's just move over here. So this is what, again, one of the perils of living in a smaller house, which we sometimes have to do down south because of the price of properties. So that's going on really nicely. Okay, so we're about there. Not too strong smelling on it, that's good. So we're about to there, weren't we? That's our edge. And don't forget, we are going to wrap that round like that. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to wrap these edges around, so that's going to give it a bit more strength. We'll obviously trim it up a little bit more. So what I'll do now is carefully, hopefully you can see that. Excuse the state of my house, it is messy. I'm a messy person. So, I just think there's something we need to do. We've got a bit of masking tape on there from the packing. So we'll move that off, because of course masking tape is a low tack adhesive, so we don't want, there we are, we don't want that there, because it won't help us. So we'll just quickly but carefully, see I haven't quite cleaned the biscuit that well. That's actually got some good tack, that's resisting there, so that's good news. I'll just move you ever so slightly. So this time we're going to do the same again. So we'll get a good amount of glue on that joint, because obviously that's where the second half is. So I'll lift that up. Now I hope I do a better job on this than I did on my MGTF, because I've had contact through Austin with the person who bought that, and I shan't say what's happened to the car because we might have that in another video at some point. But my headlining came off, or it's bubbled up, so I don't think I put enough glue on that one. First one I've done, so shouldn't be too hard on myself. That's good. It seems like a good amount of glue. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's good. So now we just need to bring this other half of material back. Make sure we tighten it in the middle and just smooth it out so we haven't got any lumps and bumps. Now we have got this little detail here, which is at the right by the rear view mirror, so we just need to make sure we press it round there quite well, and then make sure we get it down. So we will get a bit of a crease. I'm not a trimmer, so we can see that's where we started roughly. So we just need to make sure we push from there back. Try not to flex the headlining biscuit too much. Just feel our way to the edges. That's it. we have got a slight crease there. It always ends up like this. I don't know how you avoid it, but it's going to look better than it did before, that's for sure, because it was rubbing my head as I was driving, which is not ideal. So we'll just leave that now for a little while, just to settle down. Then we'll come back and we'll start doing these little fiddly bits around here. Right, so the glue's had a bit of a time to go off, so I've just started tucking this under. You can see what I've done. Obviously we need to make some cuts just to get these corners formed. I haven't folded it back on these tab bits here because obviously they've got a bit of extra support anyway with the little press poppy things. But yeah, just gluing it down now, working around the headlining. I will get that done and then we'll be ready to refit. And when I do that, I'll show you how I'm going to cut the material for things like the interior light and the what are they called? Sunblind fittings. So there we are. I'm going to crack on and do this. I won't film it because hopefully you get the idea. And I'm going to do another one of these headlinings very, very soon, actually. So you'll get another chance to see a headlining done in the next week or two. So the headlining has been resting overnight. Of course, one of the perils of doing it in the house is the cat sleeps on it. Hello, say hello to everyone, Louis. Louis, are you there? There he is. So look, I put this blanket over it to protect it for exactly this reason, so I'm glad I did, but I'm going to now evict the cat and we're going to get this headlining back in the car. So what I did yesterday, off camera, is just put lots of wax oil in this panel here, so we've got the boot hinge panel, and also down into these wings as well, so loads of wax oil, probably most of that can that's there, just to give that some protection, because I'm going to treat the rust in this boot hinge panel when I sort the roof out. So what we'll do is we'll get the boot open and we'll slide the biscuit in carefully, don't just ram it in, we'll kind of just tickle it into place, then we can start putting the fixings back, and you can see that. So here's the headlining. You can see what I've done, just cut these into triangles and folded them back round, so we've got some real good strength, and you can see where I've sort of folded it around there. So we'll start by offering it up, try not to get too much muck on it. Just clean it if we do, and try not to crease it too much. Right, so it's kind of stuck on the trim, so I'm just going to ease it in. Like so. Do the same here. Yeah, getting it past this rear trim, which I don't really want to take out because it's a little bit brittle. Yeah, it's the pillar between, it's a B pillar basically between the doors is the sticky bit. So that's just caught on the other side. So we'll a bit of jiggery pokery just to work around the car and do this. It's worth it. So it's caught somewhere else now. It's caught on the cable. I just need to back it off slightly. Oops. That's the sensor come out. So we'll take that sensor out for a minute. So there's the alarm sensor. And I think that's the BCU, the remote control sensor as well, so I'll just remove that so it's not getting in the way. And then hopefully we can just thread all the headlining through. This is the worst bit. Where's it caught now? And it's got mucky already, that's a real shame. Never mind. Right, so that's pretty much got it in position. Got it a bit mucky, never mind, we can wipe that off very carefully. Let's grab the camera and start by getting the fixings done up inside. Don't know how well you can see, but I've started off by getting these rear studs back in, just so you get it in position. It should tuck under this rubber, but it's a little bit proud, but that should settle down. So we'll next do the light. I will attempt to get this on camera for you. Right, so I first got this first little pressy thing in here. We'll just do the same on the other side, and I'm just literally just stabbing the fabric with a knife. Shut the door so we're not stopping residents from getting through. Where is it? Can't see it. Oh my god. There it is. Go on, in you go. My eyesight is terrible. Ow. Right, so they're in. Now we can start putting the sun visors back in. I've located the missing screw for the interior light, so we'll get that sorted out in a sec. So where's my knife gone? There it is. So we'll just carefully put some, I've made a real mess of this here, you can probably see, but I will gradually clean that up. So that's my fault for rushing, because I'm off to a vinyl record event shortly. So I'll just put little holes where my fixings are, about there. This is quite tricky because we've got to obviously get these in the right place. So this is the first one. So we've got a locating lug, and then we've got the, oh no, that is the screw. That's the whole screw's in there. Sorry, that's why it hasn't sheared off, has it? No. So try our best to get this in place by feeling around for the correct hole. There we are, that should be right there. In, that's good. Right, now we've got the actual sun visor itself. So my little nick was there. So that's where that should just poke through. We can hold that in place like with that, like so. So if I get the screws for this, they should go in the right place, hopefully. This is a sort of fiddly job that I really hate doing. I don't know if anyone actually likes it, but it's got to be done because I had a saggy headlining. No. Okay. We shall just have a feel around. Actually, if we remove this pressy thing on this side, obviously it's done its job because it's kept it out of my face. While we've been getting it in position, I just leave that there for a sec. I need to have a little feel around and just check. Oh yeah, so yeah, that locating thing, it does go in there. That is in the right place, I think. Yeah, it's not going anywhere, so we'll try again. be. So I can now come this way. Where's my other screw? I know where it is. It's here. And then we'll just repeat on the other side, so I won't show you that because it's just the reverse of this basically. If it decides to go in. So I'll get this done, we'll get the other side done, then we'll do the interior light. Excuse me. And then we shall start putting the trim back. So I'm afraid I just plough on without filming. So I've now got the microphone coming down here. So I haven't done it with the wire yet. So it's not plugged into the back of the radio, but at least it's there. So the trim doesn't have to come off again. I left a little bit of slack. I'll probably have it actually tucked in there. I've got it tucked on the sun blinds at the moment. I've got the trim back in all down this side. So the only annoying thing is this little bit of muck here on the thing. So we'll get this done, and that pretty much wraps this up. So that is how to badly fix the headlining on a Rover R3 platform car, facelift. I think the trim's slightly different on the pre-facelifts. So I'm going to get this rest of this trim put back in. One thing I'm going to do is I've now got Audi, so I've got these replacement Rover air vents down here, but I've actually managed to get some Audi TT Mark 1 air vents, which are a bit more robust. So I've just started taking this one out, which I'll do next coming weeks. We're going to put a boost gauge in this one. And there is, I believe, a YouTube video on how to do that. But I'll do my own one because, of course, this isn't an Audi TT. It's a Rover Streetwise. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to continue to hit that like button. If you like what you see and want to see videos about cars, we're coming into the winter now, so I'm doing a lot more maintenance videos. Then please hit that subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Beards and Bangers very soon. Goodbye.